Just starting with team news, is there anything to update us on, and can we expect you to start some of the younger players against Aston Villa?
We had a couple of injuries this week, but again we will have to wait until tomorrow to see if they will be okay or not. But Maka, like we know, he's not going to be part, of course, because he didn't start training yet with the squad. Then the rest of them we will have to wait until tomorrow to see if they will take part of training in the morning or not.
And you've been nominated as Premier League Manager of the Season in your first season in the Premier League. How does that feel?
It's good. It's always good to be nominated in this kind of award, I will say it. To be nominated, I think everything has to go well. The club, the players have to perform, and it's good for showing what you achieve in the season. But it's just taking it that way, I will say.
You also have 2 nominees for Young Player of the Season, Conor Gallagher and Tyrick Mitchell. What does it mean to them, and how important have they been for you this season?
Yeah, I think both of them been really good this season. They've been playing week in and week out. They've been performing really well, and both of them been called up to England. So that is a massive step forward, and I think it's good for the club as well, because that shows that we've been doing some good stuff this season, and to have 2 players, young players like that nominated is positive for the club.
Can you speak about Conor Gallagher's future at all? Is it up to the player? Is it up to Chelsea?
No, it's up to Chelsea and of course to the player. We know that we will have him for a year, and we are really pleased with his contribution. I think he's been terrific to the football club, and then after the season he will go back to Chelsea, and the decision will be Chelsea and Connor's to make.
And what else do you think you need to do to get Crystal Palace into a top 10 team next season? Which areas of the team do you want to strengthen?
No, I think it's just finishing these 3 games as the best as we can. And then after we have to analyze the part of the game that we need to improve. I think at the moment is not the right time to really talk about it. And what we want to do, of course, as a football club is to challenge ourselves. Players want to challenge themselves to improve. And we have to work well, and we have to be ambitious. But we will summarize the season at the right time. And
my last question. Do you want to keep hold of Wilfried Zaha this summer?
Wilfried is, when you talk about Crystal Palace, you talk about Wilfried Zaha. He's been at this club and he's been doing fantastically well. And again, as a manager, of course, I would love to keep him, but he as well need to want to be here. And this season, I think he showed to everybody what this football club means to him, because he's been performing well, scoring goals. And I believe that he can still take himself to a different level and to help the teams to grow.
Thank you. Mark,
hey Patrick, just looking at Villa, what did you make of their performance against Liverpool? Ran them pretty close, didn't they?
Yeah, really close, but at the same time, I'm not surprised, because when you're looking at the talent that they have, obviously they are not in the position where I believe they should be. There's some real talent in the team, and we're expecting a challenging game.
What can you learn from the game earlier on this season? It was only very early on in Steven Gerrard's time in charge of Villa, and it was a narrow win for Aston Villa, but they played pretty well at Selhurst, didn't they?
Yeah, that was one of our really tough games at home, and they started the game really well. The first half, it was impossible for us, so really difficult to play. They defended quite really well as a team, and we couldn't pass the ball around. We couldn't create chances, and it became quite a really frustrated game for us. So we know what to expect. We know how good they can be. So we will want to play well and do our best, and it will be a good test for us as a team as well.
As Emma mentioned, you've been getting some praise with your nomination for Manager of the Year. What have you made of Stephen's time at Villa? Because as I say, when you played with Sellers, it was early on. Seen a bit more of Aston Villa develop under him, haven't we?
Yeah, straight away I think he had an impact on how to organise the team, and he had some really good results. But you know, Villa, I think, is part of this big club in this country, and I think he will be a big challenge, and I hope he will be successful, because you know, when you're looking at players that we used to play against and decided to go into management, you wish him all the best and hopefully be successful.
You mentioned that Villa are a big club. Have they shown that by signing Coutinho on a permanent basis?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's Coutinho, is the players in the team that I believe have quality to take Villa in a different dimension, and this is the massive statement, I will say it, for what they will want to achieve in the future.
Would it be a statement for you as well if you could finish above them, because you're ahead of them in the table at the moment?
Yeah, it's not just about finishing above them. It's about for us to finish the season well and to look at ourselves and say that we maximize the potential of the team, and we are where we wanted to be. So it will be a really good achievement for the football club to finish in the top 10 with the summer that we went through. And then after that is about how can we grow from that, how can we improve ourselves, how can we try to bring those couple of players to improve the squad.
Talking about improving the squad, no matter who you might bring in that's new, would the best bit of business you could do be signing Connor permanently if it was to happen? Would that be the best deal you could get done?
I don't want to talk about Connor. I think a lot has been said already, and he's been playing, I believe, his best football in this football club that allowed him to go to England, and it will be important for him to ask a question about what will be the next step for him, and the next step may be at Chelsea, because he has to go back and see how things will go for him. But of course we are, and I'm really pleased with the year that we spent together, and he's been really good to us, and you know, we will have to wish him a good luck if he's going back to Chelsea, and if there is a possibility to bring him back, we will definitely going to talk about it.
And just finally, there's been some talk that Michael Olise might be signing a new deal. Any developments on that you can tell us about?
No, there's nothing to say about that. I think Michael is still growing as a player. I think it's shown that he has a really interesting potential. He's been playing well in some of the games, but at the other side, there's still a lot of his game that he needs to improve to be a Premier League player. But we have the structure in place to allow him to grow as a player and to improve himself.
Top man, thanks Patrick.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes the broadcast section.